What's up, hooligans? Welcome back to my channel. As you can see by the title of this video, I'm trying to incite a race war. I've done a video similar to this in the past where I took the best current white NBA players, put them on the same team, and tried to see if they could win an NBA championship. But today I'm taking the best blacks of all time, aka the best basketball players of all time, and taking them up against the best whites of all time. The starting five for the whites is going to be Jerry West at the point guard, Luka Doncic at the shooting guard, Larry Bird at the small forward, the greatest white player of all time according to 2K, Dirk Nowitzki at the power forward, and Nikola Jokic at the center. Then on the bench, we're going to have Steve Nash, John Stockton, Kevin McHale, Paul Gasol, Chris Mullin, Marc Gasol, Mark Price, Kevin Love, Peja Stojakovic, Domantas Sabonis, Nikola Vukovic, and Kristaps Porzingis. The starting five average overall is a 95, which is pretty decent, but the Blacks team is going to have the pick of the litter when it comes to the NBA grades. Starting for the Blacks, we have Magic Johnson at a 98 overall, Michael Jordan at a 99, LeBron James at a 99, Tim Duncan at a 98, and Bill Russell at a 98, giving their starting five an average overall of 98.4. And off the bench, we have Kawhi Leonard, Hakeem Olajuwon, Kevin Durant, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Stephen Curry, Shaquille O'Neal, Kevin Garnett, Kobe Bryant, Karl Malone, Giannis Antetokounmpo, James Harden, and Julius Erving. And for the purpose of science, we're going to see how this game goes. I think it's pretty common knowledge that the average white folk isn't as good as the average black folk when it comes to sports, and especially basketball. Another interesting statistic is that the NBA is 74.2% black and 16.9% white, followed by 2.2% Latino, Juan Carlos Chavez, and the other 0.4% is getting called the coronavirus mid-game. So white folk, sit back, try to relax, and let's hope we don't get raped as a race. The whites are going to be playing as the Boston Celtics for obvious reasons, and the blacks are going to be on the 76ers. And to make it even more clear, I'm going to make them wear the color of their skin colored. I don't want you guys to get confused on what team's what out here. I also gave the Boston Celtics a home court advantage, considering their best player, Larry Bird, would have a warm seat on the bench all game long if he were playing for the 76ers. But as the game begins, Nikola Jokic wins the tip over Bill Russell. That's going to be a huge moral boost for the whites in this one. First play out of the gate, and to no surprise, the whites are shooting three-pointers. Didn't go in, though. And the blacks take it another way, and Jordan passes it to LeBron in the corner, who hits an open three. Already some broken stereotypes out on the court. Then Jerry West with a tough drive, making the layup over Magic Johnson. The whites get a steal. Luka immediately sizes up the former GOAT Michael Jordan and busts a nut right in his eye for 2 points. But then Tim Duncan backs down Kevin McHale, gets his own miss and puts it back in. Then Luka Doncic off the double pick and roll goes in hard for the only white person dunk of this game. Yep, that's it. 2 minutes in, you got your only dunk. We got that out of the way. Now it's back to the fundamentals. Then Jerry West drives it on to Bill Russell. The white ref was real quick to call that a foul. He's got his boys back over there. Of course, Jerry West hits both the free throws. That's what we do. Fast break here. LeBron gives it up to Michael Jordan. He gets weird with it and then makes the layup over Kevin McHale, bringing the game within one. But then the blacks find LeBron James with the smaller white folk on him, just backs him down and puts up a weird shot, goes in, and they take the lead. Then Larry Bird, he's out on a mission to get buckets, misses a bank shot, but Nikola Jokic with the fundamental box out gets a putback layup. The ball goes into Timmy again, just sizes up Kevin and hits a bank shot. Then Jerry West finds a wide open Luka Doncic, who hits the three-pointer, bringing the whites up 2 points late in the first quarter. The whites get another stop, and then Nikola Jokic is taking on Bill Russell. LeBron with the help ends up getting the foul on the shot. The white privilege is off to a hot start in this game. Then with about 10 seconds left, Tim Duncan gets the ball down low, deep under the basket, just babies Kevin McHale, gets him out of the way, and he makes this a 2-point game at the end of the first quarter. Another white privilege issue here. I know the fat girls on Bumble are with me on this one, but seriously, we're interviewing Nikola Jokic instead of the top 5 greatest players of all time on the other team. Kobe has the ball in his hands for about 3 seconds and he shot the ball. I miss witnessing the balls on that lad. Rest in peace, Kobe and his 2 big old black balls, probably the largest the league has ever seen. But then Steve Nash going the other way with one of the nicest moves of the game, goes with the spin move crossover in the finish. The bench is loving it. They thought that was gnarly. A few moments later, and Kevin McHale tried shooting the ball over Kareem. I don't know why he thought that was a good idea. But then Magic Johnson just goes right to the basket, gets an easy layup. But Luka responds by bringing it up, crosses by Kobe, draws the help, and Steve Nash hits the three-pointer from the corner, bringing the lead up to 7 points, the largest of the game. But then the blacks feed the ball into Kareem, who shoots it over little Kevin, no problem. Then Magic Johnson finds Kobe for 3 on the wing, and the game's already back within 2. Then then the Whites with yet another pick and roll. This is about the only play they have, and somehow Luka finishes over Hakeem. Luka already has 11 at this point, almost half of his team's points. But then Kareem, again just babying Kevin, gets a foul call there. But then Steve Nash with yet another pick and roll play, to no surprise, step back jumper, hits it, bringing the lead back up to 5 points for the Whites. Then at this point, one of the bench warmers on the Blacks team, also known as Shaquille O'Neal, just takes it in the paint, gets an easy bucket, could probably do that all day. But what do the Whites do to respond? Besides another fundamental pull-up jumper from Jerry West. But then LeBron in the corner with a no-look alley-oop dime to Shaq. Something you're probably not going to see the Whites do, and they're probably going to finish that dunk with a nice, smooth layup. Don't want to risk it, don't want to be too flashy now. But then Luka off the pick-and-roll play with Pau Gasol. He ends up almost losing the ball, but perfectly passes it to Pau Gasol, who finishes a layup through contact. But to sum up the second quarter, Luka just dribbled out the ball. Yet another pick-and-roll play. Tries shooting it over Shaq. That's a pretty good idea. But the first half is finished, and the Whites lead 30-27. The top performers for the Blacks is LeBron James with 7 points, 1 rebound, and 3 assists. And the top performer for the Whites is Luka Doncic with 11 points and 1 assist. Second half here, nobody scored for about a minute and a half until Luka just went right by Magic Johnson. His defense is AIDS. That's an easy bucket, bringing the Whites up 5. Then some player from the Blacks named Michael Jordan. You might have heard of him before, maybe not. Decided he had enough of this. Just started having a dunk contest, went in there for an easy dunk. But what's Larry Bird going to do to respond? No thanks. How about a fadeaway jumper over LeBron James? A few possessions later, and the Blacks decide to run one of their favorite plays. Give the ball to Jordan and get the fuck out of the way. He goes inside for a cradle dunk, bringing the game within 3. But then Larry Bird, again, just a straight savage, sizing up this little LeBron guy. 1 pump fake, 2 pump fake, pass fake, jumper, easy. That's how it's done right there. Then the Blacks bring the ball up the court. They're not going to respond with pump fakes of their own. How about an alley-oop finish? The Whites are still yet to do that. And the Whites here, of course, running some play they just came up with in the timeout. Jerry West with the open 3 decides to give it up to Larry Bird, hitting another open 3. Somehow doesn't make it, and Jokic gets the rebound, goes back up and gets fouled. Jordan responds with a 3-pointer from the wing, bringing the game within 2 late in the third quarter. The Blacks get another stop, but then they pass the ball in to Tim Duncan, who is called with a quick offensive 3-second violation. Seems to me that the Blacks only get about 3/5 the amount of time in the paint as the Whites do. The Whites tried to respond with Larry Bird, posting up Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Doesn't look like a good idea. It wasn't, no surprise. Then Jordan gives the ball into Kobe, who just cooks up Chris Mullin. Chris is shitting his pants there. Gonna have to take a Paul Pierce timeout here.
Paul Pierce pooped himself.
Kobe ends up hitting both the free throws, tying the game at 38 points each at the end of the third quarter. Then the State Farm assist of the game is a little suspect, again with the white privilege. Don't know what's going on with Ronnie and 2K, but that is somehow the assist of the game, just a basic pass to Steve Nash in the corner. Yet LeBron and Shaq did this? What do the Whites have on their mind? Larry Bird with the open 3-pointer to put the Whites up 3 at the beginning of the fourth quarter. Then nobody scores for a good minute or so. The Whites again doing one of their signature plays, a pick and fade. Nikola Jokic from the top of the key hits a 2-pointer, bringing the Whites up 5 with 5 minutes left in the fourth. But then again, this Michael Jordan guy is pretty good. He thought he had enough of this. Just went in. He just started playing with the analog stick, threw something up, and it went in. Then the Blacks get another stop, and they find Kareem Abdul-Jabbar being guarded by Larry Bird. He just abused that little farm boy. The Celtics had to call a timeout and think things over. Started forming an escape plan. And then right out of the inbounds play, Nikola Jokic pops out to the 3-point line, drives it in. Michael Jordan with the attempted charge. He's trash. That's a blocking foul and 1 layup for Nikola Jokic. The Blacks answer back by finding LeBron at the top of the key, who again isolates the farm boy, hop steps through him, and gets a nice finish. But then the Celtics again doing what they do best on the pick and roll. Steve Nash somehow finds himself a way to score around Magic Johnson. The Blacks find Magic Johnson, who just drives straight into Jerry West, gets himself fouled on the layup. He ends up bricking the first one and making the second, making it a 3-point game. And the Blacks again picking on Larry Bird. Tim Duncan shoots a jumper right over him. Larry Bird didn't even contest. Too white, too slow, too bad. Luka again playing hero ball, tries shooting it over Michael Jordan. Usually not a good idea. And then Magic brings the ball up with an absolute dime to Tim Duncan, who blows the layup, gets his own miss, and gets fouled on the putback. He ends up making the first free throw to tie the game at 48 points each. And then he ends up missing the second. Kevin McHale rises up a few inches for that rebound. The Whites again playing Luka ball. Tim Tim Duncan almost blocks it. Magic pushing the ball forward, finds LeBron, who finishes strong over Luka Doncic, gets the and one finish, and then LeBron proceeds to do an animation I've never seen before. Don't know what you'd call that, but probably get him teed up in today's game. LeBron ends up finishing the and one play with the free throw, and out of the timeouts, the Whites come up with one of the weirdest plays I've ever seen. They somehow inbound the ball past Tim Duncan to Jokic, who then drops it off to Jerry West, but gives it to Doncic, and then Jokic just shoves Jordan out of the way, and Luka hits the three-pointer to tie up the game at 51 points each with 35 seconds left to go. But then Magic finds Tim Duncan again wide open right under the basket, gets himself an easy layup, and out of the Whites' last timeout, the only thing they could think to do is give it to Luka and get out of the way, but Bill Russell swats that shot with all the anger he has in him from living through segregation. Tim Duncan gets the rebound, who actually finds LeBron wide open on the break. I wish he would have went up and dunked that. That would have been pretty sweet. But instead, the Blacks play keep away, and they give it to the worst free throw shooter on the team. I'm pretty HIV positive I'm right on this one. It's Magic Johnson. He ends up missing the first one and sinking the second, but the Celtics have no timeouts remaining. Kevin McHale's dribbling it up, finds Jerry West, who isn't really open at all, but decides to shot fake and make it worse. Can't hit it over the 6'9" Magic Johnson. Tim Duncan gets the rebound, and that's going to do it. That seals the game. I don't think anyone had their doubts about this before, but Blacks are in fact better than Whites at basketball when it comes to the all-time greats. Larry Bird with the awkward dap up with LeBron, another low light for him. And some of the stats for the Whites: Luka Doncic had 16 points, 1 assist, and 2 rebounds. Jokic was the second leading scorer with 11 points and 8 rebounds. Steve Nash had 9. Larry Bird had 7. Jerry West had 6. Pau Gasol's ugly lumberjack ass even got 2 points himself in 4 minutes. Kevin McHale in 18 minutes only had 6 rebounds and 2 assists. And then I love these stats. Kristaps Porzingis and Chris Mullin with a combined 8 minutes had 0 stats total. They were just running around for 4 minutes each, just having a good time, soaking it all in. And the leading scorer for the Blacks is Tim Duncan with 14 points and 10 rebounds, followed by LeBron James with 12 points, 2 rebounds, 3 assists, and 1 block, who is followed by the inferior Michael Jordan with 11 points, 3 rebounds, and 1 assist. Then Kobe had 5 points in 6 minutes. Kareem had 5 points, 3 rebounds, and 2 blocks. Shaq had 4. Magic Johnson had 4 points, 1 rebound, 8 assists. Bill Russell playing into the Draymond Green comparisons with 0 points and a bunch of other stats. And then the team comparison stats look about how you might expect them to look. The Blacks shot at a better percentage overall, but the Whites had more 3-pointers and didn't miss a free throw. They also out-rebounded the Whites 31-19. That's pretty bad. They had 4 blocks compared to the Whites' 0, and they had 4 dunks compared to 1 Luka Doncic dunk. And just by looking at the shot chart, I think you can guess which team is white, which team is black, just saying. But that's going to do it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope this cleared up any confusion you might have had about who is better at basketball, Blacks or Whites. Also, I did just release some new merch, so if you're interested in joining the Brotherhood, I encourage you to go check it out at brettmays.com. The link is in the description. You guys can also use the discount code RACEWAR for 10% off all purchases from now until the end of April. I plan on releasing more colorways and designs in the future, but I'm really proud of how it came out. The material is top notch, it's got big dick energy written all over it, and the hoodie featured on the site is designed by Champion. I think you guys will like it, so go check it out. Sorry if you're being a sellout, but I gotta pay the bills. If any of you guys watching this video found this video offensive, please feel free to enlighten me in the comment section. I'm sure that'll go over well with the subs. But anyway, don't be a simp. She isn't worth it. I love you guys, and I will see you in the next one.